Welcome back for another video. It's time for the Gameweek14 episode of the Experts. In this series we ask hundreds of FPL Experts questions every game week, including a bunch of top all-time managers and content creators. We also reveal the Experts team and we look at their transfer plans, captaincy, chip usage and more. This wisdom of the crowd approach will guide us all to better decisions and a better rank this season. So if you would like to improve your rank through valuable Experts data, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. So let's jump in, and the top expert heading into Gameweek14 is a new name, Ben Smith. He's moved up to 3.1k overall and he's top of the Experts League after scoring an impressive 65 points in Gameweek 13. Total points now 821. His rank history includes 3 top 10k finishes in his last 4 seasons, and he could be on for 4 in his last 5. Extremely impressive consistency. So onto the Experts transfer activity, and things have calmed down after a significant amount of activity in recent weeks. Not a single expert's taken a hit this game week, and the majority are rolling the transfer, 56%. 44% are making one transfer this week. Let's have a look at which players the experts are actually bringing in among those making transfers. You can clearly see the transfer paths most are taken here, with Saka the most transferred in and Bowen the most transferred out. Saka was benched in the Europa League and did come on in the second half. It's a big fixture swing in making that swap, with Bowen up against Man United and Saka home to Nottingham Forest. It's now or never if you are moving for an Arsenal asset really, as in Gameweek 15 they've got Chelsea, so the boat will have sailed by then for big upside. As such, Martinelli and Gabriel are the second most popular transfers by the experts, with Arsenal top of the clean sheet odds as well. After a benching last game week, perhaps a less engaged manager would see that as an excuse to sell Foden. 90,000 managers have done already. If anything, this could point towards a start, having been rested and then played 80 minutes midweek. As such, 7% of the experts have actually brought him in. This perhaps explains why a couple of managers have also brought in Alexander-Arnold, who did look good in the Champions League too. Man City with perhaps the best final 3 fixtures before the World Cup among any team, away to Leicester, then home to Fulham and Brentford. Gabriel is top among defenders for expected goals this season. However, if you don't have the cash, White's also a good option, being picked up by some experts, only 4.5 mil. Gabriel was spotted limping down the tunnel after full time in the Europa League though, which is something to monitor if he's on your radar as a transfer. Quick look at the chip users and then we'll look at the captaincy in the experts team. Pretty much every wildcard has now been used, just 0.4% haven't used it. Perhaps the final expert is saving it for a Gameweek 16 wildcard to act as a free hit for a 1 week punt essentially. Or perhaps their team's already in perfect shape in their opinion and therefore no requirement to use it. The free hit bench boost and triple captain largely untouched so far as expected. A lot of double and blank game weeks to come later in the season, which might be the prime time to use them. So we're on to the expert captaincy next, and the good news is that the Man City fixture is the first of Gameweek 14, so if Haaland is still a question mark by the deadline, we'll perhaps get some early news, as we did last game with the likes of Alexander-Arnold benched and Nunez not in the squad, so make sure you tune into our usual deadline stream for that one. It's Haaland top as it stands with 77% of the captaincy. We'll get their thoughts on the Haaland injury situation at the end of the video and what their plan is. It's Salah second with 18% of the vote. He's just not really got going in the league, but once again he's scored in the Champions League and assisted Elliott, which puts him at 6 goals and an assist in 5 games in the Champions League. 3% have opted for Saka captain and 2% for Kane. Best of luck to our experts with the captaincy, and more on the Haaland at the end of the video. If you have enjoyed the video and appreciate the research that goes into each episode, please drop it a like and consider subscribing to support the channel. So moving on to the experts team reveal for Gameweek 14, and this is the aggregated team of all their highest owned players within the budget. The team is as follows. It's a 3-4-3 again with Pope in goal. In defence it's Cancelo, Trippier and Guehi. The midfield 4 is Salah vice captain, Martinelli, Foden and Zaha. The front 3 is Mitrovic, Haaland captain and Tony. No changes to the team this week, which aligns with the majority of the experts rolling the transfer. It will be interesting to see how the team evolves for the final couple of game weeks. With a mixed bag of fixtures in Gameweek 15 in particular, Mitrovic is away to City, Arsenal and Chelsea face one another, and Spurs and Liverpool face one another. With the unlimited transfers arriving after Gameweek 16, it's also an opportunity to take a punt or two. Haaland, Trippier and Cancelo are the only players with over 90% ownership, and Haaland the only one completely owned by all experts. The experts team does have Doherty on the bench, who could arguably start ahead of Guehi. It's hard to predict who gets the nod between Doherty and Emerson. Certainly you could start Doherty instead though, and it is a close call, so we've got Guehi here purely based on his ownership being higher. Each game week we ask the experts to offer their insight and tips for the game week ahead. DMP Wright says, don't force transfers like Zaha to Saka. Zaha, for example, is a perfectly good option this week. SMR simply says, last chance for Salah. Fredo FPL says, we're now in a 3-game season, hoping for some explosive weeks to go into the World Cup wildcard. Matt Brooks says, with Fulham having a tricky few fixtures before the World Cup, finding the cash to upgrade Andreas to someone like Almiron and playing 5 midfielders for a 3-week punt could be profitable. MLK says, I would advise FPL managers to wait as late as possible before finalising their transfers and captaincy selections this game week. Man City played the early kickoff on Saturday, so there is a possibility of some leaked team news. There's also the uncertainty surrounding the fitness of Cancelo and Haaland. FPL Maxi says, Chelsea face Arsenal while Spurs face Liverpool come game week 15. It would be wise to have 2 free transfers going into that game week, as we can try to bring in our other differentials for a 2-week punt before the World Cup. TomTom says, a lot depends on Haaland news, so many good captain options. Would really shake the game up if he's out and give me an excuse to play an excellent Andreas. Benjamin A shares, will be really fun to see what people do, transfer and captaincy wise if Haaland is out injured. Let the games begin. That concludes the Gameweek14 episode of The Experts. Thank you for watching. If you found it useful, please like the video and subscribe for weekly content to come all season. We'll be live for a deadline stream and hope to catch some early Man City news. See you then.